Hey everybody, Josh from Populi here with a quick look at troubleshooting course mapping issues that can give you the runaround and create a bunch of little fires that you need to put out in the middle of everything else. We want enrollment running smooth so you can spend your time watching Populi tutorial videos. Oh, speaking of which, make sure that you don't miss anything by clicking subscribe below and then clicking that little notifications bell, ding, ding, ding. Let's talk roles. This is going to be useful for anyone with either the registrar or academic admin role. So let's have a look at where course mapping issues sort of manifest over on academics, academic term, and then down here, we'll go to students. What you might expect to see on this table for a given term is an unduplicated student count. Everyone who's enrolled in a course in this term. That's not actually what this is. What you're actually seeing are student enrollments by program. So sometimes folks will see one student listed twice here like we have in our example at the top. It's always possible that you have two profiles for the same student. So those would be somehow you've got two profiles created for the same student and then they're both enrolled in the same term. But usually you're seeing one student enrolled in two programs. If you click on either instance of the student's name here, you should be taken to the exact same profile if you click on either one. And that means that this is one student, one profile listed twice. And the same is true here for this student. It's the same student profile mapped with enrollments mapping to two different programs. And before we go on, we're going to step back for a second and just talk about how automatic course mapping works. The reason course mapping exists is so you can control which courses end up connecting to which programs. In most cases, the reason that matters is so you can control which courses show on which transcripts. This means that you can avoid a terrible stew of all courses mixed together in one big glop. Glop is a technical term. So if a student takes their undergraduate degree with you and then they also take their graduate degree with you, you're able to point undergraduate courses at the undergraduate degree and graduate courses at the graduate degree. But you want this to all happen automatically, don't you? Unless you actually want to do all this work for every student, every time someone enrolls for every course. You do? You really want to do all that extra work? You are sick. But I actually kind of respect it. In order for this to happen automatically, when a student enrolls in courses, Populi looks at the course catalog entry for the course instances and then checks the program list on the course. That's right here. So we can see there's just one program listed on this course. Then Populi looks at the active programs on a student's profile and tries to find a match. Any active program on the student's profile that matches programs listed on the course catalog entry links up. So when a student enrolls and you have one program on the course catalog entry and one active program on the student's profile, that will be linked. If you have two programs on the course catalog entry and two active programs on the student's profile, when they enroll in that course, both of those programs will be linked to it. So back on academics, academic term, students, looking at the students with enrollments mapping to two different programs. Is this wrong? You might be seeing exactly what you should be seeing. Let's say that you have an undergraduate and a graduate program like we do here, and you have a student enrolled in both at the same time. Or maybe your school uses programs in a slightly different way. You commonly have students in multiple programs at the same time. Unusual perhaps, but not unheard of. They would show up once for undergraduate enrollments and once for graduate enrollments. However, it's also possible that a given course has automatically mapped two active programs when that's not necessarily what you intended. Beyond that, it's also possible that a student has one or more enrollments that have mapped correctly to their program and other enrollments that have not. That means you might have courses that are totally unmapped. If anything shows up like this, no program listed, then it means that some credits aren't mapped to this program over here. Again, it's possible that you have a reason to leave courses unmapped. that's none of my business. But if you need to adjust the mapping here, it's real nice and easy. We'll just click on either instance of the student's name. You'll land on their profile. We'll go to the student tab, and then right down here you see course mapping. We'll click on that. Once we're here, you can adjust the mapping however you need to. You can see that this particular course right here is unmapped, Introduction to Painting. So I'm going to click on that and then save. Now let's go and see if that was the course that was showing up as unmapped back on the students table. You can see now that that student only shows up on the students table once because we resolved that unmapped course. Let's go look at that again. We'll click on the student here, Sonia, and then we'll go to the student tab, and then we'll go to course mapping. One slightly tricky thing about this table, you want to make sure that you're pointing it at the correct program as you map and unmap courses. So just make that selection there. Then one other tricky thing here is that if you're looking at situations where a student has taken multiple instances of the same course catalog entry, you're going to see that they show up here without any indication of which term is which. It'll always be that the earliest term is at the top, and then the more recent instances proceed down chronologically from that. So the most recent term will be at the bottom. Okay, so that's how you adjust mappings when this problem comes up. Student profile, student tab, and then course mapping. But when it comes to totally unmapped courses, orphaned courses that we saw there, you might be treating a symptom, not the underlying cause. So if you have a bunch of students coming up on the students table with unmapped courses that aren't intentionally unmapped, that means that either the students don't have a program that they should on their profile, or the course catalog entry doesn't have the program that it should. If the issue is that students aren't getting their program, then you'll need to check with your team to make sure that that's happening as part of the admissions process or some aspect of the broader enrollment process. Let's say that this course should have both the undergraduate and the graduate programs set. It only has the undergraduate program. So we're missing that automatic mapping between the graduate program on a student's profile and this course. Once we've added that, we can just click Save. However, this only prevents the unmapped course issue from happening down the road. It won't retroactively remap unmapped courses for you. You'll have to do that manually, clicking and clicking and clicking. Now I want you to click like down below, then click subscribe and hit that notifications bell, ding, 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 so you don't miss anything. We also link to our social media stuff down there, so check that out. I've been Josh for Populi. You've been great. Thanks for watching.